All right, so let's start over on this one. We got to find 3 answers on this problem. Now, what's unique about this one? What do you do when every number has an x? Take an x out. So y'all have to do this step. 2x squared plus 13x minus 7. So take an x out of each term. Just subtract an x away from each number. All right, these are rarely missed on the test. Because now, for your extra answer, all you have to do is take this x that's out front. That gives you 0. That's your first answer. And how could we find our second and third answer? You could do quadratic formula with these 3. Quadratic formula is right here. All right, y'all set that up. We'll get the remaining answers from quadratic formula. So we got negative 13 plus or minus. Taylor Vaughn, type this in for me right here. Don't type the square root symbol. Let's see what you get. All right, so Taylor typed this in. She got 225. Check the board for your perfect squares. 225 goes to 15. So I got negative 13 plus or minus 15 over 4. All right, so now how do we find both answers from this? Well, you got a plus and a minus. We'll do the plus first. And for the second answer, we'll use the minus. So on top, I got negative 13 plus 15. On bottom, I got 4. First answer is, I got 1/2. All right, for the second answer, do it the same way, but you got your minus. Negative 13 minus 15 on top over 4. I got negative 7. All right, so I have showed you how to do one of those. So now everybody should be able to do number 3 the same way we did number 2. Only done one problem like this last week. All right, before we even start number 4, look at it. It's not set up correctly. What do I mean by that? Doesn't equal 0. So let's move 15 over here, and let's make it minus 15 equals 0. That's your first step. All right, this one, number 4. We cannot do quadratic formula. Why not? Doesn't have an x squared in the front. It's got an x to the 4th. So how many answers does this mean we have to find in this problem? We've got to find 4. All right, so we have to factor it out. So, Harlan, what goes here and here? We got to, good. We got to do x squared and x squared. All right, factors of 15. Remember, 1 times 15 and 3 times 5. Remember, you guys can bring this up on your calculator. I'm going to show Harley since she was out. If anybody else needs me to show you again, I will. To be able to bring that up on your calculator, you get y equals, clear that. Our number we're trying to find the factors for is 15. So watch, do 15 divided by x. Now we want it in table form, not graph form, so it's second table. Look what it does. 1 times 15, 3 times 5. All right, so for our problem, which ones are going to work? 3 and 5. Which one's positive? Which one's negative? 5 is negative. Good. All right, write down your factors. Now, set them equal to 0, so I move plus 3 over. That's going to give me a negative 3. I move minus 5 over. That's going to give me positive 5. All right, so last step, we got to find our 4 answers. So I got to get rid of this x squared. What's the opposite of a square? Square root. All right, square root of 3. Can I find or simplify? Is there a perfect square for 3? No, but I do have a minus on the inside. What's that going to be when I bring it out? So I got plus or minus I root 3. Now remember, you can write it that way as long as you remember positive I root 3 is your first answer, negative I root 3 is your second answer. Because we got to find 4 answers for this problem. 2 from this side, 2 from that side. I'm good with y'all just writing plus or minus I root 3. If you want to go like this, you can. Other side, I take the square root. Matthew, can I simplify square root of 5? Nope, so we just leave it plus or minus root 5. All right, and that one's missed a good bit on the test every year. Maybe we need to do more of those. I only got one of those on this sheet. All right, let's go to 5. All right, like I said a minute ago, 5 and 6 are what we just finished on the warm-up. All right, you know this one's a different type problem because of the square root of x in the middle, and you have to factor this. Just like we did on the warm-up, we're going to put square root of x and square root of x at the beginning of each parenthesis. All right, so somebody did this last block, minus 6 plus 1. Tell me why that won't work. That is wrong. Why is that wrong? Hey, if I add them up, I get negative 5, but what do I get if I times these two? Negative 6. Oh, we got to get positive 6. All right, so that doesn't work. What are some other factors for 6? 2 and 3. What do my signs have to be? Second sign's a plus. Check the board. Got to be the same sign. Minus, minus. All right, what's next? Move over minus 2. That equals positive 2. Move over minus 3. That equals positive 3. All right, last step. How do I get rid of the square root symbol? Got to square both sides. This answer is 4. 3 squared, that answer is 9. Now, which one of these do I throw out on this problem? Neither one. Why not? Right. You only throw them out if you got a negative and then you square it. That was a positive 2. That was a positive 3. These answers are good. I don't have to throw anything out on this one. So we've had some of these where you throw out both of them and it's no solution. We've had some of these where you throw out one of them and just keep the other. All right, so I've showed you 5. You should be able to do 6. And then we'll do some at the bottom. Maybe the back. All right, so a reminder on how we start synthetic division. Ready? Whatever the first number is, you just bring it down. Every time. If it's a 3 in the front, you bring down a 3. All right, negative 2 times 1 is negative 2 in that spot. Add them up, what do you get? 0. Do it all over again. Negative 2 times 0 is 0. Add them up, what do you get? Negative 9. Do it again. Negative 2 times negative 9 is 18. All right, so Harley, if you've done this right, your last column will always cancel out. So I know we're on the right track. This is my first answer. I got to find 3 answers. So I'm going to get my second answer and my third answer from these 3 numbers. Now you guys can factor those 3, or you can do quadratic formula. Most of you guys are just good at doing quadratic formula every time. If you want to factor it, then that's 1x squared minus 9 equals 0. But I'm going to just do quadratic formula because that's how most of you are going to do this problem. All right, this is your A, this is your B, this is your C. All right, go. All right, so first answer, 0 plus 6 over 2 is 3. Second answer, 0 minus 6, negative 6 over 2 is negative 3. So my 3 answers, positive 3, negative 3, and negative 2. All right, so that was a basic one that we learned how to do last week. 12 is a little harder. Let's go to 12. All right, what makes 12 harder? All right, Harley, look, this time if you set this equal to 0, you move minus 1 over, that's a positive 1. And now you divide by 2. We got to put 1/2 in the box. So we got a fraction in the box on this one. All right, does anybody remember what we have to divide each number by before I bring it down on this problem? You got to divide by 2. Why? Because look, the bottom of the fraction is what they're dividing by, so we've got to divide by the same thing. 2 divided by 2, I bring down a 1. Negative 1 divided by 2 is negative 1/2. 8 divided by 2 is 4. Negative 4 divided by 2 is negative 2. All right, try it from here. You may have to use your calculator to help you. All right, 1/2 times 1 is 1/2. Now, when you add these up, you get 0. It's okay to have 0 down there. 1/2 times 0 is 0. Add them up is 4. Half of 4 is 2. Okay, I know I'm on the right track because the last column canceled out. I know my first answer is going to be 1/2. All right, how do we finish it up? You got your A, your B, and your C already set up for you. Do the quadratic formula on this one. This answer is going to be a little different. Let's see this one. So let's do quadratic formula. Let's see where y'all messed up. All right, so I got 0 plus or minus 0 minus 4 times 1 times 4. What did y'all get in here? Negative 16. What's the square root of negative 16? Well, the square root of positive 16 is 4. If you got a negative, it'd just be 4i. Remember, we did this last week. Anytime there's a negative in your square root, you bring out an I. So 0 plus or minus 4i over 2 is what we've got. When it's a negative, just add an I. Now, we can't find both answers. Harley, when it's like this, you got a plus and minus but an I. You just got to leave it alone. The only thing we can do is divide by 2, divide by 2, divide by 2. So, our answer is going to be, that stays 0, right? 4 divided by 2 is a 2, and that turns to a 1. So, really, it's just plus or minus 2i. You don't put the I, I'll probably mark off, I don't know, 4 or 5 points. All right, that's 12. Let's go to 13. All right, 13. They've got x minus 4 over here, so I put a positive 4 in the box. All right, and I bring my numbers down. 2, negative 13, negative 2, 73, and 60. All right, the first step is normal, so y'all can go ahead and do the first step. All right, so we start this problem. Harley, I bring the first number down every time. 4 times 2 is 8. Add them up, negative 5. 4 times negative 5 is negative 20. Add them up, I got negative 22. What's 4 times negative 22? I think it's negative 88. Somebody add those two numbers up for me. Tell me what you get. Jada says negative 15. And I know 4 times 15, that's negative 60. Okay. I know we've done it right so far. This last column canceled out. Some of you got stuck here last week. You're still stuck here. All right. What's the problem? The problem is, if you have 3 numbers left, Harley, we can do quadratic formula and we're finished. We've got 4 numbers left on this one, which means we've got to do that synthetic division step one more time. All right, what is the first number I always try when I do it a second time? I try positive 1. For you guys who've already tried it, does positive 1 work? I don't think so. Jacob's saying no. Okay, what if positive 1 does not work? Then go to negative 1. What if it doesn't work? Positive 2, then negative 2. Every once in a while, you'll have to go up to 3, but hardly ever. So, they said positive 1 didn't work, so you guys do negative 1. That's going to leave you with 3 numbers. Then do your quadratic formula. All right, we'll go to the bottom ones. All right, so negative 1 did in fact work. So now we're doing quadratic formula with these 3 numbers. I got 7 plus or minus 49. All right, we'll give you guys a chance to finish that now. Now the bottom 14 and 15 are just asking you to do quadratic formula. 14. Okay, I've got my answers on the board for 13. Y'all can check them with what you've got. Hopefully we're similar. So you had to find 4 answers. Make sure you circle your final answers for me. There's 1, 2, here's 3, there's 4. All right, let's look at 14. All right, 14 and 15 are just asking us to use the quadratic formulas written on your paper as well as on the board. Something's missing, though, on 14. It's not giving us 3 numbers, is it? Which one's missing, the A, the B, or the C? So for right here, you'll just plug in a 0, and that should be the only change. All right, try it. You'll plug in 1 for A, 7 for B, and 0 for C. What Harley gets when she plugs that in. She got negative 12. Is that what y'all got? All right, so Harley, here's the trick. If it's negative 12, you bring the negative out, it's I root 12. That's the first thing you have to do. You got to know that if it's got a negative, you bring it out. Now, everybody use your calculator, hit the program button, and simplify square root of 12. All right, here we go. Program's right there. You want the one that says simplify the radical. S-I-M-P-R-A-D. So hit number 3. Enter. Now they're asking you which number do you want to simplify. Type in 12. Just 12 because that's your square root. So it'll be 2 root 3. So since we've got an I already there, it's going to be 2I root 3. Negative 6 plus or minus 2I root 3 over 6. Is that right? Yeah. All right. If anybody needs to learn where that button is, get somebody to show you. If I'm busy, or I'll come show you in a minute. Last step, divide by 2, divide by 2, divide by 2. Negative 6 plus or minus I root 3 over 2. Well, divide by 2, sorry, over 3. All right, that is your answer. All right, so on the front, you guys need to complete 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right. While y'all are finishing up these problems, we'll take a bathroom break. If you got to go, go ahead and go.